FIFA
wow.
installment period of all time.
That is a massive shout.
He's won the World Championship a couple times. I've been there for the World Cyber Games victories. He's been top 3 at multiple world events, and I'm sure that he's here to win it. If he doesn't win an event, he's disappointed. And I think having that expectation of yourself, it kind of brings you to play your best, and I think Deto's going to do more of his controlling possession play.
Okay, well, one man that'll be trying to stop that happen is Zezinho of Brazil. Probably surprised some people by going this far, I think it's fair to say, but I'm interested to know, both of these guys come from countries with very strong footballing identities. How much do you think these guys play FIFA like that, in the sense of Brazil known for their free-flowing attacking football? Germany are known for a kind of more slower build-up, patient possession play, which we know that Deto does do. Can we expect to see some of that sort of attack mentality from Zezinho here?
Absolutely. I think that's a good way of looking at it, actually. And we see a lot of the Germans doing well at tournaments with that structured play, that they have that parallels in real football.
Yeah. And Zezinho, of course, trying to stop an all-German final in the PlayStation, because if Deto gets through, it will be Deto versus Eisvogel, guaranteeing a German a spot in the grand final, which is massive for Germany, who you probably have to say have been the dominant country in this tournament in Manchester.
Yeah, I'd say the 3 representatives have been Germany, France, and the UK, in terms of having the most players, and a lot of notable players as well.
Yeah, and UK not doing as well this time as they did in Barcelona. Obviously, Tex winning it in Barcelona. Harry got as far as any other Brit, or further than any other Brit this time, but was unable to beat Hiroja. But this is Zezinho versus Deto in the penultimate semi-final here on the PlayStation. We've got one more semi-final to come on the Xbox later. This is Zezinho of Brazil in the red shirt, and Deto, of course, recently signed for Manchester City in the Man City kit.
And this is one of those games where an opening goal means so much, especially if Deto were to score, because he's going to look to really possess, and he puts a lot of pressure on you, not just in the game, but also mentally, where you know you can't give up many opportunities. It's just difficult to get the ball off of him.
Yeah, we talk a lot about players when you expect to see high-scoring games. Deto's probably not one of them.
Absolutely not, actually. And we've seen so many high-scoring matches in this FIFA tournament here, and Deto is more of the low-scoring, a lot more structured, doesn't mind being ahead by just 1 goal in a lot of different circumstances.
Okay, well, Zezinho will be looking to upset the apple cart and put Deto out of his comfort zone by getting some goals early doors and making Deto come out and play, which he's got a chance to do here with Ronaldo inside the box. Oh, he's a finish! Honestly, from that angle, it had to be perfect on the left foot of Ronaldo, and it was perfect. We talked about getting Deto outside of his comfort zone. He's well outside of it, Mike.
Absolutely. That's the worst thing that could happen for Deto. The Brazilians in the chat are probably like, that's what you get, Mike, for taking Deto in this matchup.
Well, that was inch perfect, that finish. Unbelievable.
And a beautiful usage of the heel-to-heel in order to get Ronaldo to full speed almost instantly. And like you said, the finish, spectacular.
So Deto's going to want to reset the status quo as quickly as he can, come out, get the equaliser. But Zezinho's got something to hold on to, a long way to go, of course. These games are all a 2-legged match, so Zezinho's got a long time to hold on to this. And it won't be easy. Deto tends to try and control the game, suffocating his opponent out of possession, but he has to play a little bit more lively now. Zezinho won't mind sort of sitting back a little bit deeper because he's got something to protect.
This has to do wonders for Zezinho's confidence, knowing that he can expect... almost a mistake there. That he can expect Deto to attack, to be a little more forward with his attack, a little more direct and maybe decisive even, as opposed to going side to side and really working it slowly.
And it will give Zezinho a rare opportunity probably to try and counter Deto, who usually wouldn't come out. He's going to leave some gaps, and this is a chance now for Zezinho to do just that in the red, with Kyle Walker playing it down to Thierry Henry on the right-hand side, inside to Ruud Gullit here. What can Gullit do? He finds Vieira. It's a team laden with icons here, but it's Messi, the living legend, who plays it to Ronaldo. It's coming through to Ronaldo! R9 makes it 2-0, and Deto is on the ropes. Brazil getting their own back for what happened in the last World Cup. Fantastic stuff. Little bit lucky here, has to be said. He was tackled and it fell perfectly. And if it's going to fall to someone in the box, you want it to be that prime icon, R9, who gets the finish. 2-0.
I feel like I issued the curse of the commentator to Deto. I gave him all these superlatives, and here we are. He's down 2-0 early on, and I think this is a really bad position for Deto, mainly because he's not known for his quick tiki-taka play. He's known for good defense, being able to press on defense as well, And then, like we said over and over again, his ability to hold the ball and to be very patient.
Yeah, I mean, it's Brazil versus Germany, Zezinho versus Deto. It's attack versus defence. And right now, attack is winning. And Deto has to do some attacking of his own if he's going to come back in this one. And you have to say, if Zezinho goes through, and it's Zezinho versus Eisvogel in the final, as much as these two are great competitors, no one would have called that for a PlayStation final, would they?
And that actually makes me want to ask you a question. Who did you have as a player maybe to watch at the beginning of the tournament?
Oh, he's definitely back in it.
He's got a lifeline.
He's not going down without a fight. No emotion on that face. I don't think we'll see any emotion until he, or if he, lifts the trophy at the end of it. But the decent goal there. It's a very tidy finish with Ronaldo. He's back to goal. 2-1, game on. Zezinho's not through yet. Deto is going to fight to the end here. What were you going to say, Mike?
Well, I was going to say Deto's one of those players with the lack of emotion. You have to ask him to smile for a picture. Hey, man, look like you want to be here. It's just how he is. And I was going to ask you about players that really surprised you in the tournament. Because we've been here from day one. We all threw out different types of predictions, players to watch. Is there anyone that really surprised you? Because you were talking about getting into a final that nobody predicted.
I think the two main ones for me were both on the Xbox side, the two North Americans. I think Goal Machine of Canada and Remy Martin, who are both out now, of course. But Goal Machine particularly is an interesting one. We talk a lot about the fact that he was playing some of the less popular choices when you've got every player on FIFA open to you. To have Alessandrini, to have Lozano, to have Solar even coming on, and scoring big goals for him. He went a little bit against the sort of fashion of other players, but I would say this, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've seen people do that a lot of tournaments. On Early Airborne we talked about earlier. I remember Vitality Brian back in the Gfinity days doing the same thing, playing Zlatan when no one else was. In my experience, they don't tend to win. These guys go quite far, but I've never actually seen someone come and win a tournament, really, with those unpopular choices. And I think, ultimately, it's those marginal gains that work against them. Maybe a chance missed here or there that a Ronaldo or an Henry would have scored. So, but those two are the big shocks for me. Remy Martin also, shout out to him as a real-life baller. We played with him a pickup game a few days ago. Got some decent techers, the lad.
And I'm guilty of learning that the hard way. I've been to tournaments where I've taken players, maybe not the Lozanos and the Alessandrinis of the world, but last year at the FUT Champs Regional in Vancouver, I used George Best instead of using Team of the Year Messi because of how much time online I had spent using George Best. And I almost instantly regretted that after my first match and I saw what Messi was able to do.
I think that's a tricky one because you look at Best versus Messi in that example. They're different players, different strong feet. Hello, 2-2 Shirley. What a save from De Gea. Chance for him to equal it up there. Still could be. De Gea again, saving Zezinho there. Yeah, I think when you've got two players that are different footed or different sizes in terms of physical stature, Messi, you could argue, could be worse than Best in certain situations. But when you've got a striker like Alessandrini, he was playing up front, or Lozano or Solar, and you, against someone like a Ronaldo, there's really nothing that R9 Ronaldo can't do that the others can, especially with a 5-star weak foot. So that's where I think the choice just becomes obvious. Even if you haven't had experience playing with him, he can do everything Solar can do, right? Maybe not quite as fast. The only thing that Solar has over, say, R9. Anyway.
That's still debatable.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost perfect in terms of stats at least. Half-time here. 2-1 to Zezinho. Brazil on top of Germany right now. Not many chances as we'd expect in a game that involves Deto, which tends to be a midfield battle of attrition. Can Zezinho go all the way and see this one out?
We'll see. I mean, it's back to square one almost. I mean, he's still got a 1-goal lead, but I think Deto's feeling a lot more comfortable in the match. He got that goal back, and I don't think he minds if this game stays in a very cagey affair. And that's kind of what we've seen so far, where they're kind of feeling each other out, and they've each been very efficient with their opportunities.
One thing I'd like to ask you, Mike, as I think you won't mind me saying, one of the elder statesmen in the group of pro players here.
Thank you, thank you.
Still young, of course, at heart. But the reason I bring that up is Deto is the oldest player here. Mm-hmm. How much when you're playing a tournament like this and you're going up against someone potentially 12, 13 years younger than you, if Deto had matched up against, say, Tex, for example, how much do you think these young guys have got something I haven't anymore in terms of reaction speed, or how much do you think, well, I'm going to show them who's boss and they're not going to have the experience I've got? Are you threatened by the youth of today, or do you like the chance to put them back in their place?
This has been a real big debate in the community, I would say, over the last couple of years, where we've had all this new exposure and a lot of new stars coming out of the woodworks in terms of FIFA and esports. And it is, do you take the wise pro, whether he's young or old, Or do you go with some of the new guys that you're seeing these online results, or they're winning cups as a potential player that can get the victory? And I think it's been a really tricky debate, because we've seen both situations, right? We've seen the wise leaf, or the wise fox or something, come out of here and get a W, the old guy with a lot of experience. And then we've also seen these new faces develop and become stars in the community. So I think it's very subjective, person to person. But I will say this about deto.
What a save again for De Gea, who is having an unbelievable performance for Zezinho right now, keeping him in the game. Deto has been woken up by that second goal of Zezinho, and it's another save for De Gea. Unbelievable. What a save on his right-hand side.
Incredible reactions.
And he's going to, I mean, he's playing with fire at the back there, Zezinho, making passes in his own box, which could have cost him, but he's got a chance to counter here. Messi's running away from Cristiano Ronaldo. Kyle Walker into Ruud Gullit. Back to Walker. Ruud Gullit on the ball. He's pretty much an ever-present player in everyone's squad here in Manchester. R9 into Messi. Still Messi, makes space, finds R9. And Valencia's going to pick this one up for Deto here as we reach the last half an hour of this first leg on the PlayStation semi-final. Whoever wins this game will be going through to the PlayStation console final and playing the German Ice Vogel, who managed to beat Nicholas of Argentina, which no one saw coming. I think I'm right in saying that not even Jimmy Conrad was alive last time Nicholas lost a game. So
I like that.
Yeah, statistically maybe not true, but it's got a good ring to it.
It sounds good. Absolutely sounds good. And I will say this, over time, Deto's style has always been the same. Since I've known him, I've probably known Deto for 5, 6, 7 years, right up there. Uh-oh.
There it is! It's a Desmond Tutu.
He's made the comeback.
Back in the game.
Oh.
You're talking about Deto's style being consistent. Is that strength or a weakness? Like, is it show that he can't adapt, or does it show that he doesn't need to?
That he doesn't need to. I think his mental strength is what kind of separates him from a lot of people. And at this level, I feel that all the players have the ability. And it's a matter of, are you winning or losing those mental battles? Do you feel that you can actually win this event? Do you actually believe that you can win this event? Or are you happy to be there? Are you happy to be top 8? Are you happy to be top 4? Are you happy to be in the final? It really comes down to that desire and self-belief, I would say, because these guys don't have somebody behind them in their corner saying, you can do it, Deto, you can do it, Zezinho, excuse me. And you have to believe in yourself and what you've been doing with practice via the weekend league or playing versus other professional players.
And if you just look at the faces in the bottom corner of the screen here, I mean, Deto, he's such a kind of upright, rigid man. He's like RoboCop, the German version. And but that kind of comes across in the way he plays. It's very like, you get the impression, I mean, I've had the experience of doing this. He gives a very firm handshake. You know, he's not going to mess you about. You imagine he'd be very good with numbers. If it came to doing his accounts, he'd be fine with them. Look at it, he just looks like a solid individual. Whereas Zezinho looks much more like a young, you know, football-loving kind of kid who's getting out there and playing the game he loves. But right now, you have to say the momentum's with Deto. 2-0 down, gets back to 2-2. And Zezinho's got a whole load of work to do again. He's not really getting much of the ball. Deto's mojo is in full flow.
And just to remind you guys at home, if you're just tuning in, Deto is in the Manchester City kits in blue, and Zezinho is in the red kits.
Here we go, Neymar on the ball here for Deto. Is he going to take this 2-2 into the second leg? Maybe he'll be happy with it considering the way the game started, or maybe he wants to get that advantage against Zezinho. Inho in Brazilian or Portuguese means little, so I wonder if his name's Little Zez.
Little
like
Zez.
Ronaldinho is Little Ronaldo.
It's like a rapper.
Little Zez.
Little Zez.
23. Here we go. Ronaldo to the other Ronaldo. It's the two Ronnies linking up, and Neymar's shot saved. De Gea, player of the game so far for Zezinho, you have to say.
Incredible build-up play there from Deto. Very patient. We'll see if Zezinho can maybe steal something at the end and reclaim his lead. I think this is anyone's game for the last 10 minutes.
He really hasn't been in the matchup though since that 2-0 goal. It's been all Deto, but there's a chance here for R9 Ronaldo. He's got runners off of him. He looks to go inside. It falls to Patrick Vieira. Oh, Ruud Gullit with the huge interception there for Deto. And he can go up the other end now and try and create an attack with Valencia. Into Maldini, the Italian legend at the back there. Icon, I should say. Ramos. Marcelo. The pass made in Madrid. Ramos is going to switch it over to Valencia. Obviously a player for Manchester United. We're here in Manchester. We're giving away a lot of Manchester-related players as well in the Twitch drops. The likes of Inform Aguero, the likes of 95 rated FUT birthday Cristiano Ronaldo on the right wing, the likes of prime icon Rio Ferdinand, 97 rated team of the year De Gea, who's having an absolute blinder.
It just sounds lovely saying that. 97 rated.
Some people I've noticed in tournaments, I think we've seen it less here in Manchester, we definitely saw it in Barcelona though, prefer to use normal De Gea to 97 rated De Gea. Is that something that you subscribe to, or would you always go with a higher rated version?
It's all in your head.
Yeah.
Wherever you feel, I guess, works best in your squad, but it's really another one of those heavy debates. If you look at the stats, of course the 97 rated is better, but not everybody uses the 97 rated. Oh, straight red.
Okay.
It is the 90th minute though.
Yeah, it's not going to carry over, but it's the centre mid Ronaldo, at least he's starting him in centre mid, probably for chemistry reasons, that has been sent off for Deto. Now, surely he just tries to close this game out with a few minutes left, down to 10 men. Nothing, I mean, a goal for Zezinho could be fatal. It could be fatal. I mean, I back Deto to come back and score in the second leg when he gets his 11th man back, but still, you want to go through, it will feel like a win considering he was 2-0 down.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Deto has to feel like this is a win.
Yeah.
Being able to bring back a match from that 2-0 deficit. And I think he did it in an impressive way. It seems like after those initial 2 goals from Zezinho, it's been all Deto.
Look at that posture from Deto. I mean, he does yoga. If he doesn't do yoga, then, I mean, fair play to him. But
he's got a stiff chair that he uses or something.
He's a very upright individual, great member of society. But is he going to make it through to the final? Right now, it's all even with him and the Brazilian, Zezinho. Minutes left, or seconds left even, of this first leg. And Zezinho, I'm not sure if he's got the mental strength that Deto has. You know, has he been in this situation time and time again over the last decade that Deto has? Maybe not, but maybe this could be the young guns' opportunity.
But he's representing his country, man. He's holding. He wants to bring them to glory right now in this tournament.
And there's a lot of Brazilians watching.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of Brazilians in Zezinho's corner. I'm sure the Germans are for Deto as well, but there's a few Germans left in the competition. It's split. That support is not all for one man like Zezinho's got right now.
And even in the competition, there were so many German players across the board, PS4, Xbox, all of the above. So they might feel like they had every opportunity with representation.
Can Zezinho nick a late winner in this first leg? He's got the man advantage in injury time. It's Vieira on the edge of the box as he looks to be... Oh, he's gone through there with Messi. No. He's trying to just put a little bit more energy, a little bit more potency into his attack because he knows he's got the advantage, but Deto shuts it out.
He almost got caught napping there. He did an offside trap, and he had realized that he mistimed it, so he brought one of the players back and made the tackle.
Amazingly there, Deto with just 2 shots. Sorry, Zezinho with just 2 shots and 2 goals, whereas Deto had, I think, 6, and we saw a lot of saves from De Gea for Zezinho. So if Deto can shut out Zezinho in the same way in terms of giving him not that many shots, I can't see Zezinho winning it because even Zezinho's first goal was almost like a 10% chance of going in. The left foot, very wide angle. I mean, if he gets that chance again in the second semi, I don't think it's going in.
And his second goal, if you remember, was a chase-back tackle that kind of went into his favor. Might have been considered a little bit lucky. And then either way, he took those chances.
For sure. I mean, that's all you can do. But there's an element of luck for sure with Zezinho there. Is it going to go that way again in the second leg? Probably not, statistically speaking. Deto, even though he's drawing right now, you'd say based on that first leg, has the upper hand and is more likely to go through. I could be wrong. Brazilians, don't at me, all right? I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Would you agree?
I'm with you, but I mean, we start fresh in the second match. You guys in the chat, what's the next game going to look like? Give us your score predictions. We'll see if you guys are right or wrong. I think Deto's got to be the favorite, but experience only goes so far sometimes.
These are Zezinho's stats: 64 goals for, 54 goals against, average of 6.4 goals per game. Lots of green W's, a couple of red L's in there. He's lost some matches, as everyone has. There's no one left in the tournament unbeaten.
I think it's good to lose a game or two.
Well, that's what's the beauty of this format, particularly the Swiss format, is you don't have to be unbeaten to win the tournament. You just have to win the games that count. These guys have all done that to get this far. This next semi-final leg is a game that really counts. Okay, it's 2-2, so it's all to play for. But I think we need to see a bit more from Zezinho personally. I don't think he created enough chances.
He was more efficient, though. And being clinical always counts in tournaments.
Can De Gea have another worldly performance like that for Zezinho, though? I mean, a lot of those chances could have gone in. If they'd gone in, you wouldn't have really ruled it past him. You would have said fair play to Deto.
And he was a little bit unlucky maybe for no rebounds.
Yeah, he didn't get that luck.
He had a couple shots that rebounded perfect location, just nobody was in that spot. They weren't making the same overlapping runs. and weren't able to tap it in. Either way, it's anybody's game. Second leg, it's basically 0-0. I know it's 2-2, but whoever wins this game is going to be the victor moving on to the final.
If you were Zezinho right now, you've just played that leg, what would you do for the second leg? Would you change things?
I don't think I necessarily have to make adjustments in Zezinho's case. I just need to make sure mentally that I'm there. Don't think about the previous game. I think it's a mistake we all have made many times playing FIFA. You carry the previous match into the next game, and it affects you. Because he's thinking, I blew a 2-0 lead versus a world champion, someone with all this experience that's been to so many different events. He needs to wash that and move on to this game and be like, I'm Zezinho, I could do this, I'm repping Brazil. Let me get another early goal. Let me put some more pressure on Deto. Deto's had to make a lot of comebacks. At some point, you're not going to make that comeback.
You can't keep relying on him. 100%. Zezinho is in the top 8 goal scorers in this tournament, which makes you think he's created a lot of chances, which makes you think he's going to be quite good at that. But he's not done it against Deto in that first leg, at least. He's only created a couple of chances, and he scored from them both. Shows you what happens, but maybe when you match up against a player of Deto's standards, those stats go out the window if you can't do it against the best. And Deto is definitely one of the best. But will he be the absolute best and win the whole tournament? Well, he's got to win this leg if he's going to do it. As things stand, we'll go through the extra time. We'll have penalties. No one wants to play a German in penalties. But it could be happening unless one of them can get the upper hand and get a goal in this second leg. We've got Zezinho from Brazil in the red kit here. Deto in the Man City kit, who he represents and plays for. And Man City, let's talk about them. They must be looking for a big win at a tournament since they got in the scene nearly 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago. They've been present, they've been a great addition to the scene, but they haven't really come and dominated anything yet. It's just a club like Man City will be wanting to do that. Zezinho with a chance, almost taking the lead right at the start again.
That was hitting the back of the net. That was hitting the back of the net. Big time deflection.
Huge chance there, but yeah, big tackle. I think it was from Maldini for Deto. But yeah, let's talk about Man City. How hungry will they be for a win here?
Absolutely, no finals. Since they've entered esports, I don't even know if they have a top 4 before this event. Coming into this event, am I mistaken? Am I missing any results? I don't think so.
No, obviously they signed Marcus Jorgensen, who won the Club World Cup last year representing Brøndby, but not done it for Man City yet. But they're making the right moves. Oh. Speaking of moves,
there's the rebound we were talking about.
Deto didn't get them in the first leg, but the luck has moved over. The wheel of fortune has spun in his favour, and he's now 3-2 up. And we talked about Zezinho being in the top 8 for goals scored. Deto is in the top 5 for goals against. So it really is attack versus defence. And right now, defence is winning. He's 3-2 up. Deto, defence, is winning. Zezinho has to come out and score. Right now, Deto's going to the final.
Defense wins championships. That saying's not just for I guess the...
Not just a cliche, it means something, yeah.
And I'm expecting Deto now to go into heavy possession mode and to put more and more pressure on Zezinho in terms of eliminating how many chances he can create. And if I'm Zezinho, I got to make sure that I'm very patient when I do get the ball, that I don't rush. That's the worst thing you can do against possession players, is rushing your gameplay, because that's exactly what they want. They're holding the ball in hopes that you give it right back whenever you do take it away.
There is plenty of time still for Zezinho to get back in this, but Deto is an expert when it comes to closing games out and frustrating the opposition. And he's got a throw in here with Marcelo. He'll take his time looking for an option. Another man in a sky blue shirt. Ronaldo, back to Neymar. Here's Patrick Vieira, who goes for the left-footed switch over to Antonio Valencia. They'll play it back to Ramos. Antonio Valencia, Manchester United player, playing in the Manchester City kit. It doesn't sit right with me, but it's working for Deto. Patrick Vieira, oh, into Ronaldo, almost beats his man, but it's a good tackle from Rio Ferdinand, and I'm not sure what Deto was trying there. Was that a cross that went wrong?
It was a mistake. He had already pushed shoot prior to the ball falling to Neymar's feet, so it carried over in terms of the input. It happens from time to time. It's rare to see at the professional level, but it does happen in FIFA, where he had already looked to finish after the fake shot inside the box.
Especially when they're making decisions at the breakneck speed that these guys are, it can easily happen. But yeah, 1-0 to Deto, 3-2 on aggregate. What can Zezinho muster up here for Brazil? Vieira on the ball here. He gives it away to Hullet for Deto. Every single time he does that, his chance reduces, because Deto's so good at just holding on to the ball and watching that clock wind down.
Zezinho needs a goal before the second half. You got to get something by halftime, or at least make a couple opportunities to put some sort of pressure on Deto, make him have to think about if he wants to make more adjustments, or to feel some of the pressure when he's holding the ball. And if you guys are brand new to competitive FIFA, what you're going to see is a lot of play out wide in hopes of getting the ball inside. They're all looking for those little gaps to hit almost a wall pass to the center forward, whether that's Cristiano Ronaldo or the original R9, and they're going to work from there.
Definitely. And I think one thing that a lot of new players, or perhaps not top-level players, will find interesting about the pro players is the player they're selecting at any one time isn't always the one you think it would be. It's not always the defensively speaking, it's not always the one closing down the ball. Sometimes it's someone else, so they can let the AI help them defend and double up on a player. Here's Vieira. It's a good tackle in the end. We've seen lots of comebacks this weekend. We've seen people come back from 3, 4 goals down. But with Deto, the manner of the way he keeps the ball and how good he is at it, would you say that a second goal in this game would kill it off?
It would definitely be a problem. I don't want to say it's impossible. I don't want to I don't want to write off Zezinho, but he'd have to make changes immediately in order to try to produce enough pressure.
Chance here for Zezinho if he can get on the left foot of Messi! There it is! 3-all! Unbelievable! Zezinho, he scores when he needs to, this guy.
Yes. He's been more efficient, no doubt.
I mean, he's very good at this. I mean, that's obviously a left footer in Messi, but he scored from the exact same spot with Ronaldo. He nearly scored another one this game if it wasn't for the Maldini interception. He loves it in that area.
And it's a rare mental lapse from Deto there, where I feel like he knew he was left-footed and he switched to the wrong player. He was chasing back with Ruud Gullit instead of having the front man to make that last-ditch challenge, slide tackle, anything in the area.
Unbelievable scenes here in this semi-final on the PlayStation side here. 3-all, all even as we approach half-time in the second leg. Deto of Man City versus Zezinho from Brazil. It's a great matchup.
I said Zezinho needed one before half.
He got it. He listened to you, Mike. Gullit loses the ball now, and you really feel like the momentum.
Great defense, man. That was great defense.
Momentum seems to have shifted a little bit since that goal to Zezinho, but Deto will be very, very much trying to get a second goal so he can just regain control. But Zezinho's making some big tackles. It's Vieira here. Needs to hold on to it. Maybe even play Deto at his own game. You know, start frustrating him. How that policy he has of holding the ball and frustrating opponents, how long will Deto cling to it? Will he cling to it no matter what happens, or does he have a plan B?
I believe it's also the best way to beat Deto, is to frustrate him in terms of you holding the ball with possession.
Fight fire with fire.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be a battle of the wits when you're going through those possession games, but I think it's important.
Ooh! What a strike from Zezinho!
That's brilliant. I think he's had, 4 shots, 5 shots, and 4 goals. Incredible.
I mean, I know we don't see a lot of shots from that distance at this level, but I said it myself. I said hit it, because when you get Ruud Gullit in that distance, you've got to hit it, because the chances are so strong of it going in. De Gea could do nothing, and just like that, the game has flipped back in Zezinho's favour. Brazil on top. Deto, what's going on, son?
Can you make another comeback? That's the question.
Has he got it in his locker? Has he got the... I mean, mentally, it's taxing just commentating on it, Mike. What's going through his head? This is where the experience really comes through.
He is the RoboCop, though.
He is the RoboCop.
The German RoboCop. I love that. I hope Deto likes that as well.
Emotionless. I mean, I'm sure inside his head, he's doing somersaults right now. Well, Zezinho certainly will be, but Deto... he needs to do something big as we get very close to the half-time whistle. And it could be now! Oh, 9! Oh, Ramos with an excellent stop there. This game has really gone up a level. It's been turned up to 11. And here's Ronaldo. Back to Vieira. Zezinho dominating the ball, but he gives it away there, and Henry's kicked it out, and the pressure might be getting to these lads.
Yeah, we've seen a couple error turns or error passes in this match. Which might be the pressure of that big stage, that main stage. Everybody's watching you. All eyes are on you.
Yep. And Zezinho seems to be doing well under that situation right now. Again, Deto's had slightly more shots, not a lot in it, but Zezinho has scored when it matters. And every time he goes through, he looks like he's going to score, which you can't really say for Deto right now.
Absolutely true. And being clinical is crucial if you want to have a successful tournament. Nobody wins an event without being clinical.
And we've got to talk about this event. I mean, personally, I think that the format, the Swiss format, is the best format I've ever been a part of a FIFA event. I think it's the fairest. I think the fact that every game is 2 legs is huge. But we've also got to talk about the fact that The sheer amount of games these guys have to play, it is mentally exhausting. It's actually physically exhausting. You wouldn't think so. They're not physically moving and running around, but they will feel like they've been involved in a 90-minute football match because the emotions that are going through their heads is just the same.
And I couldn't agree with you more. The introduction of the Swiss format, I think that's the future of esports, because before that, it used to be those random drawings into groups and people would make excuses. You can't make an excuse in a Swiss format.
I mean, there's still plenty of excuses flying about. You just have to go to Twitter to see them, but they're not valid in my opinion, you know? I think even Kurt we've not heard as much from since he got knocked out, because he knows, oh, he's only got himself to blame, and deto will not let himself get beaten here. He keeps coming back. What a match. 4-all. I cannot call this one. The next goal could be the one that clinches it, Mike.
Incredible. He won't go away. Pestering.
2-all in both games. We've seen it. We've seen goals. We've seen great tackles, great blocks, great saves. But we can't tell between these two lads right now. Brazil versus Germany. We don't know who's going through. We've already got a German waiting for whoever wins in the PlayStation final. That's Ice Vogel. Who do you think he'd rather play? I mean, would he like to go deto because he's got, I'm guessing they're friends, you know, in the German scene? Or maybe he'd like to be representing Germany solo and go against a Brazilian. What do you think? Based on this match, who do you want to play?
It's tough to say. I'm thinking myself, what could be going through his mind? He's going to know everything about deto. But with that being said, I don't know if that's an advantage for him. But at the same time, you would guarantee the German progression. So I still think he'd go deto. But it's going to be close.
Depends how good friends they are, I guess. And also, I think, you know...
They can't all be friends. They can't.
It's a solo competition at the end of the day. You know, it's a team game they're playing, but they're individuals. They all want the personal glory, and they've been working really hard for it. Here's a chance now for deto to take the lead again, and that's going to be a free kick in a dangerous area now. Rio Ferdinand might even pick up a card. Not someone you want on a yellow card, just centre-back in a game like this. I'm pretty confident he won't sub him off, but... he's got to be careful there, and deto is almost certainly not going to hit this free kick directly. We're going to have a quick pause, actually. It looks like Zezinho could make a change here.
I don't think he's taking Ferdinand out. And we already saw a red card actually, which is very rare in tournaments unless it was one of those hack-down situations.
Is he going to bring 46 rated Foy on here? Is he? Surely not.
A bronze benching. That's rare as well. Let's keep the rating down, which is another one of those. I think it's more of a placebo effect, but a lot of us are guilty of doing it where you think your team might play a little bit better on a lower rating.
But in this tournament as well, you kind of know the subs you're going to do, if you're going to do any. You probably only need 3, 4, 5 max. So you could, I mean, if you believe in that, there's an option to do it. Anyway, quick free kick here from deto, who goes to Rudolli, and it's blocked just in front of the line by Thierry Henry, and now he could counter. Zezinho could get a crucial goal here. Patrick Vieira holds off the ball well. Marcelo at left back, up to the Brazilian compatriot Neymar. That's going to be a free kick for Zezinho. This game is hotting up, Mike. Do you still think deto's going to do it?
I like how you keep putting me on the spot. I was going to ask you, how many goals do you think we have left in this match? deto's already made 2 comebacks. I said that I thought deto would get the victory. I can't turn my back on him now. I love all the Brazilians in the chat because I can already see them erupting with, no, 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 no. You are incorrect, my friend. I'm just happy that we're seeing good FIFA. I mean, this is 2-all. It's been efficient. Anybody that's watching this game, you can't debate that we're not watching like premium quality FIFA matches here in terms of the efficiency, the passing, the skill moves, the timing, all of the above.
Couldn't agree more as Ronaldo shields off the ball well for Zezinho. Can he get that all?
Perhaps
crucial goal. R9 looking for space. 3 defenders round him. He creates the space.
How did he get through there?
I don't know, but De Gea stopped him. De Gea went into Gandalf mode. Thou shalt not pass. Henry on the ball. What can he do? Oh, I can't stand it, Mike.
And FIFA can reward you sometimes for really getting in the mix of everything. Oh, beautiful drag.
No, no. Oh, it's massive. Zezinho takes the lead, and everyone on Copacabana Beach is dancing. They can't believe what they're seeing. Oh, incredible. He's taken the lead. Germany, deto, struggling, defense, losing to attack once again. Surely that's going to be it.
This man just doesn't miss 1v1s. And that was just beautiful combination work with the dragbacks. I think we saw 4 or 5 dragbacks within the last 1 to 2 minutes of game time. And he mixed them up in a very creative way to get those angles.
Okay, just under half an hour left here. 5-4 to the Brazilians. Zezinho, who some of which, maybe me, wrote him off after that first leg. He didn't create enough chances. Well, he's shut me right up in this second leg because he's been phenomenal. And not even the might of Deto has been able to match it.
I'm going to have to issue an apology on Twitter.
Well, not yet, you're not. Because it's still 25 minutes and Deto looks lively. And Man City, he's in Manchester. He's technically a home player here, although he's from Germany. His club are local. And the Brazilian Zezinho is a long way from home.
Indeed.
Ronaldo. If he gets another one now, it could be all she wrote. He's tried a chip pass there, but it's been deflected off Maldini. And De Gea is going to send this one. He's going to take it a little bit of a chance there, Deto. Sergio Ramos into Vieira. He's got to up his kind of the speed in which he plays now. Deto, he needs to go up a level.
I'm expecting to see changes shortly.
Formation, tactics, everything.
He doesn't necessarily have to change formations, but he for sure needs to maybe change the custom tactics, a little more speed in his attack. Like you said, he's more of a slow, controlled, build-up player, and I think it's at that point where he's got to start speeding up the game a little bit.
And Zezinho almost trying to give Deto a taste of his own medicine here. And hold on to the ball, Neymar! Oh, he's doing wonders here, running rings around them. And if it wasn't for a last-ditch tackle from Maldini, it could have been all over. I mean, he's very good in the box, isn't he, Zezinho? Creating space out of nothing. But Ronaldo's got space now. And Deto could get back in it. He's been forced very wide. He cuts it back in. Oh, and R9 really not delivering on that shot.
One of the first times we've seen Deto really feel the heat. He missed a great chance there, and I think he's nervous. I think that looked nervous to me. Took it a little bit too early.
Yep.
Didn't get the precise angle that's needed. And that's what you're seeing with all these ball rolls, these drag backs, these fake shots where the players are stopping and they're popping. They are looking to get the right angle for the shot or the right angle for the layoff.
Stopping and popping.
Like popcorn.
Mary Poppins. Kyle Walker on the ball here. Is he going to play it down the line? He's going to go inside. Zezinho is in no rush to get this ball forward. He just needs to hold on to it. He's got all of Brazil cheering him on. Oh, the offside trap.
I thought he caught him. That was close.
Almost worked against Deto. It's the second time we've seen him use that offside trap and nearly hurt him. He needs to be careful, but at the same time, Deto does have to force things. He can't afford to wait to get the ball back. He needs to get it back in his control if he's going to come back in the match.
And he's cued that pause. Let's see what he goes into. Surely he can't stay in the 4-2-3-1.
So we're seeing, obviously, Zezinho's screen here, and he's going to be the one that's going to want to go more defensive. It looks like he's going to go to a 4-4, well, a 4-2-3-1, actually, here.
That's what I meant to say, actually, was Zezinho's going to go into maybe a more defensive 4-2-3-1.
He's got reinforcements on the bench. We're not going to see Foy come on, I'm pretty sure of that, but he's got Kante on there, who could be a great player to bring on now with that work rate in the middle of the park. You know, the energy levels you get from Kante. Is he the man he should use?
Perhaps, but it's good to have size. Vieira and Hold in the midfield, that's a tough midfield to get through. And right now, we're going to see all that practice if it's going to come through. We'll see Deto maybe making a third comeback or Zezinho closing out the game, but you're going to be living off emotion and also the combination of smart habits and just good instinctive play. At this point, when you have a lot of nerves, and I'm sure both these guys are feeling the nerves, even if we're not seeing them sweating, we're not seeing them yelling and screaming on stage, internally, they have to be feeling this pressure.
They're sweating on the inside.
Absolutely. Have to be.
Not long left here in this monumental semi-final. It really has been a game for the neutral. It's been fantastic. Henry on the ball here for Zezinho. He's going to look to close down the game now, and he's earned the right to. And that defence of Deto is really pushing up high now. Has had to go more aggressive in the search to regain possession. Ruud Gullit turns on a sixpence, plays it to Ronaldo, goes back to Marcelo, plays it down the line to Ronaldo, who's got loads of space here. And that clock is getting closer to the 90-minute mark. Two people trying to get the ball off Ronaldo, they can't do it, and it could be all over. If Ruud Gullit can get a shot away, Deto needs to clear the ball away, but he needs to keep possession at the same time. He can't afford to lose it here. Valencia, a right back. He needs to get it forward, Deto. You've got all of Germany rooting for you. They want this all-German final. But Zezinho looks like he's going to stop that. Vieira on the ball, needs to get it forward. Cristiano Ronaldo, back to Vieira. He's looking around for options, and he's been dispossessed by his opposite number.
Wonderful defense.
It could be done. It could be finished. Kyle Walker just needs to keep the ball, and it'll be a Brazilian going through to play Ice Vogel. Seconds left on the clock.
Oh, this might be it. This might be it.
He's kept it. He's kept it. I think it's done. I think Deto's race has been run. Good through ball. Neymar could finish it. Is there time? I don't think there's time. I don't think there's time. He's going to get it forward, but it could be too late. Deto crashes out against your prediction, Mike. Unbelievable. At the end of the day, Zezinho's held onto the ball there, and he's given Deto a taste of his own medicine, and my, oh my, it was bitter.
I just want to throw it out there. I'm pretty sure that Spencer also had Deto. He just stayed politically correct in that matchup.
How dare you?